Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Today I'm just going to do a fairly quick video. A lot of people ask me about the different types of ships, what's the difference between them. I could go on forever and ever and ever. I'm not going to lie, I just did this video and I stopped and I thought, oh, that was good, and it was over 20 minutes long. So boom, redoing this one, make it a bit shorter. Basically, I'm going to put this up on the screen right now. It's my cheat sheet. You're seeing it on the screen as we talk. But there are 8 different classes of ships with Carnival, and they're pretty much going to go from oldest to newest. And I'll just give you a brief overview of each one and my opinion of each one. My opinion doesn't mean you have to listen to me. My opinion. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with what I'm about to say. Put it in the comments. Argue your defense. Fantasy class. These are the oldest ones in the ship. There used to be 8. There are now just 3. Are they my favorite types of ships? No, they are not. Why? Because they don't have as much to do as the other ships. A lot of people love that. Great, good for you. If that's what you want, perfectly fine. No complaints from me, but not my favorite types of ships. Specifically, the Paradise doesn't even have a steakhouse. And I'm moving to Tampa in November, and guess what my #1 ship is going to be? The Paradise. I will still cruise on it because I love cruising. I'm not saying they're bad, they're just not my favorites. The more we cruise, the bigger the ships, the better the restaurants, and that's what I like. I like the restaurants. Anyways, that's the fantasy class. Smallest, you'll see, the guide is the year, 1991 when it came into service, the gross tonnage, and the guest count. That's what those codes mean on there. Spirit class, you've got the Spirit, the Pride, the Legend, the Miracle. Been on all of them, love them all. Not my favorite class of ship, but we're getting closer. You know, a few more restaurants on these. Still fairly small. The capacity is down to just over 2,000, so you're never going to have a really crowded ship on these ones. So a little bit more intimate still. I don't really know what else to say on these ones. A lot of these ships, you know, you've got to get to know them a little bit. They're not always the easiest ones to go around, like the Miracle, for example. Good luck finding the comedy club on the first day. They're not the easiest ships to work out. Take you a couple of days at least. But so my advice would be in all these ships, specifically the Spirit class and the XL class, as soon as you get on, go to muster drill. Of course, muster drill #1. #2, get yourself a drink. Very important, in my opinion. And #3, just with that drink in your hand, walk around the ship and just explore. Learn where things are. It might save you a lot of hassle quicker than you think, especially the Spirit class and the XL class, in my opinion. The others are a little bit easier to get around if you ask me, but everybody's different. So that's the Spirit class. The Conquest class, we get a little bit newer now. The Freedom was actually the first ship I went on in 2008. So it was only a year old. So it was a brand new ship when I went on it. Woohoo! Look at it now. It's still great. I'm kidding. I've not been on the Conquest. This is the first of these ships on these lists I have not been on. I'm going on it in January next year. So I will be going on it soon. I did 26 days on the Glory. Loved every minute of it. Primarily because Cookie was the cruise director and the crew was amazing. But, you know, it's a nice enough ship. I wish there was a few more restaurants, but I had a perfectly fine time. I mean, the main dining room's okay, but remember, it's part of your cruise cost. Don't expect it to be amazing. Yeah, nothing really to say on those ships. Bit newer, a few more things to do. We're moving the guest count up though. We've gone up from like 2,100 on the Spirit class to close to 3,000 on the Conquest class. So we can see the pattern here. We're getting bigger. Bigger is better, if you ask Carnival. A lot of people don't agree. I kind of do. Anyways, after that, we've got the Splendor class. I'm actually going on the Splendor next week. So to Alaska. Hopefully, as long as I test negative for the the COVID. And then I will be doing a full ship video of that said ship, and I will be putting it up the following week. So you'll get to see the Splendor very soon. Nice ship though, nice ship. Again, slightly larger. Similar restaurants as the Conquest class. And in 2008 was when that one came out. You know, very similar. Now we move up to, we're starting to get into the big boys now a little bit more. So we got the Dream class. The Dream, the Magic, and the Breeze. Probably between this and the Vista class are my 2 favorite classes of ships. I especially love the Breeze. To me, the Breeze is the perfect size for everything. I think the Dream is not as nice, but I think when they built the Dream, they were on the right lines, and then they improved a lot of things on the Magic, and then they improved even more on the Breeze. So if you were to ask me what the best ship on this entire page to go on is, it would be a toss-up between the Breeze and the Panorama, which I'll get to momentarily. But I love the comedy club on the Breeze is about the right size, the piano bar's a good size, everything on the Breeze seems to be, it's like a Goldilocks ship. It's just right, in my opinion. Disagree with me if you want, but I do like the breeze. And I had Cookie when I was on that breeze too, so I've been lucky. I get a lot of time with Cookie. I don't really care about cruise directors overall, but I do love me some Cookie. Sunshine class. Now these are all refurbished ships basically. They are not brand new ships, but they are refurbished. I would recommend if you are going to go on one of these ships, try and find out where the new, because they added a lot of new cabins on these ships. So you'll see the guest count is higher, and if you compare it to what the old ships used to be, it's quite a bit higher. Trivia question for you. First person in the comments to put down what the original ships were for the Sunshine, the Sunrise and the Radiance will get a round of applause from me and a shout out on one of my tips videos. Can't afford to do anything else. What do you think? Made of money? Got to use it all for these suits. But anyway, of these three, my least favorite is the Sunshine, because for every reason I love the breeze, I kind of don't like the Sunshine. Nothing's big enough, apart from the Serenity deck, which is enormous. It's like 8 miles long by about 5 miles wide. But everything else seems to be like a little bit too small. The Comedy Club is tiny. Could never get a seat in there unless you went in like a half hour early. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, the Sunshine's not my favorite, but a lot of people love it. But that's the Sunshine class for you, the refurbished ships. Again, I recommend try and find the cabins that are the new ones. Like if you like an interior on the Radiance, back of deck 5, behind the Alchemy Bar, all of those cabins are brand new, refurbished. They got better power outlets. And 2 of the cabins, it's 5349 and I think 5379. It's the ones at the front and the back of the interiors in the middle are oversized interiors, really very large, and you'll be happy you got those 2 cabins. And they're 4D category if you're looking. But that's what I would recommend on these ships. Look for the new ones. The Sunrise, I've not been on that one either yet. That's the second one on this list that I've not been on, and I'm going on that in a few weeks in November, a couple of months. Apparently it's basically an exact replica of the Radiance, or the Radiance is an exact replica of the Sunrise, because the Sunrise was first. Anyway, that's the Sunshine class. The Vista class, again, we're getting bigger. Same principle with the Vista class as you had with the Dream class, in that the Vista came out, it was great, beautiful, innovative ship, everything's on there is brilliant. But there's a few things they could have improved on, which they did on Horizon, and a few things they could have improved on, I think, which they did on the Panorama. So progressively, these ships have got better. The Horizon is the other one I have not been on, so of all these ships, there's 3 I've not been on yet, but I'm going by what I heard. The one big thing about the Vista class is the Havana area. It's a bit more expensive, but no kids under 12. It's a family cruise line, I get it, I know. Great if you have kids. I totally get this family cruise line. But there are people that want to go on a cruise and not be surrounded by kids. I'm not saying they should be adults only by any means, but I love the fact that they have basically an adult only area in the Serenity and a lot of these ships. But now when it comes to the Havana, an even bigger permanent, basically 12 and up adult only one that you can get out there. Although in my experience, the teenagers are the ones that cause the most problems. So what am I talking about? I haven't got kids. Don't judge me. What about, I don't know. Don't shoot me. Anyways, so that's the biggest sell on these things. Like number 1 is the Havana area. Number 2 is the restaurants. They got GGs. Oh, love me some GGs. So the newer the ships, the more the restaurants they have on them. So they've also got the Bonsai Teppanyaki on the Horizon and the Panorama, not on the Vista. One of those improvements they added and made. So if you like eating in good restaurants, go for the newer ships. Is the best thing I can maybe suggest to you, especially the Vista and the Excel class. They're the ones with the really good restaurants on board, and the other ones, they're okay, but you're not going to have anything above like a steakhouse, an Italian, and a sushi, really. And the chef's tables on all of them, that's another level. But you know, from all these ships below the Vista class, that's about the limit you're going to get on those ships restaurant wise. So if you like really good high quality restaurants, the Vista and the Excel class are the ones for you. Speaking of the Excel class, moving on from the Vista, because I don't want to rabbit on and on forever, it's the brief overview, everybody. Mardi Gras, I went in it for a week last December, and then 2 weeks in February, March this year, end of February, early March. I went in it for celebration. Just my opinion, a bit too big. It's not my Goldilocks. Just right. Breeze is just right. Panorama to me is just right. Mardi Gras is a bit too big. Again, some people love it. I think you'll find this. The Mardi Gras as a ship and the Celebration and Jubilee will be the same. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. You know, and there's no in between. I don't think in a week you'll ever be able to find everything and see everything you want on a ship like Mardi Gras. You walk on that ship, it is nothing like a Carnival cruise ship. If you've done a lot of Carnival cruises, next week is going to be my 49th Carnival cruise. When I walked on Mardi Gras, I didn't recognize it as a Carnival ship. Not at all. It didn't look anything like it until I saw the names of like Alchemy Bar and Red Frog and stuff like that. But they didn't look like the Alchemy Bars and Red Frogs on other ships. So yeah, don't expect the full-on, whoa, this is Carnival. It takes some getting used to, is my point. Everything on the Mardi Gras is on decks 6, 7 and 8 and 16 and 17, pretty much. Like 90% of the activity stuff is on those decks. So I would recommend, as I said with some of the other classes earlier, as soon as you get on that ship, first thing you do, muster drill, get a drink, walk around deck 6, 7 and 8, familiarize yourself with how that ship works, and then go up to the top and do it. And if you love it, great. You know, don't expect to be served too quickly, because there's lines everywhere. The comedy club is way too small. People absolutely underestimate how popular comedy is on these cruise ships. Shout out to all my comedians, Dougie Doug, Vince, CJ, all the great comedians on these ships. There's way too many to mention. But you know who you are. But yeah, that's my opinion. Mardi Gras Celebration and Jubilee, they're not necessarily going to have improvements as the ship goes on. They're going to be themed. So the Mardi Gras was New Orleans, Celebration is going to be Miami. I'm sure when the Jubilee comes out, it's going to be a Texas Celebration style thing because it's going out in Galveston. So there'll be the main differences on those. Beautiful ships, huge ships, great restaurants. Rudy Seagrill's next level for me. But a little bit crowded. So there's your difference. I mean, you can go from the one extreme of the fantasy class, which to me is way too small, to the XL class, which for me is too big. Having said that, of course, I'm going on the Celebration and I'm doing the inaugural on the Jubilee for 18 days and I'm staying on for the inaugural US. So I'm doing the transatlantic and then so I'll be on there for 25 days. Hypocrite, can I hear you say? No, I will go on any ship. I've just got my favorites. None of them are bad. I'm going on the Paradise on New Year's Eve this year. None of these ships are bad. Just got my favorites. So that's the difference. So look at the restaurants on the ships. Real quick, I'm going to show you. Take this one step further. Go to Carnival's website. I'll show you a couple of screenshots here. Go to Carnival's website. Go to Explore. And then take our ships. And you can pick up to 3 ships. You see I picked 3 out here. And then you can look at those ships and compare them in more detail than I've got on the sheet I showed you just now. So you can see here all the different categories you can click. And let's click on one, let's click on dining. And you'll see here when I click on the dining, it shows you all the different options we have on these 3 ships. So they're coming soon on the Jubilees because they're not out yet, but they will be there. When it says coming soon, it just means I haven't built it. But if I did the Mardi Gras, you would have seen it. I picked these 3 ships because they were next to each other on the sheet and it was easier to show you. But you can compare up to 3 ships at a time. So you do that. And then the last thing I'll tell you is, and I've got a whole video on this, I don't want to go into too much detail, I'll make these videos too long. But when you're booking a cabin on these ships, simple tip, always look at the deck plan. I'll show you one here. Make sure above and below you, if you can, are cabins, not activities, for noise purposes. Simple, right? And be aware that some ships, like here's one, this is most of the Conquest class, 5, 6 and 7. Sorry, yeah, 5, 6, oh, 6, 7 and 8, I can't even look. But you just want the middle deck. That's the only one on these classes of ships which has cabins above and below. Other ones have got several different levels. So just be aware of that. My recommendation, when you're booking a cabin, look at the sheet, look at the PDF of the deck plan, and make sure you know what is above and what is below you. Might make the whole difference between a good cruise and a great cruise. They're all going to be good, but it could be better, right? Subscribe if you would like to. And if you wouldn't like to, as I've been saying lately, I'd like to say I don't care, but I do. I want to know why. What did I do wrong? What could I do better that would make you happier? Because I love you all. Not in a biblical sense, in a friendship sense. Because I'm here to help. Subscribe. If you have any questions, email me. My info's coming up at the end of this video. And send me your tips. Monday is tips day. If you've seen my videos, I need tips. Can't just do mine. I want yours. That way I learn. Learn every day. All right. And with that, I will see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, Mick, at elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.